So we are here in Michigan, checking it out. It's a cool little channel called Zero E Michigan, and they are on a crusade, a mission, if you will. They are trying to get people in Michigan to actually do clean, green things, and it is a bit of an uphill battle, but they've got some good information. I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla Weekend. Zero E Michigan, what is it?
So Zero E Michigan is a channel for driving electric, but also doing other things that are green, environmentally friendly, with a focus on our home state of Michigan.
And what do you think it is? Come on, Larry, tell us.
Just educating people on plugging in, going green with electric vehicles.
And it's more than that. It's also strategies. I saw, there was a great video they made where they were trying to manually precondition a bolt, was it?
Yep.
And doing the yo-yo.
Doing the yo-yo.
For 20 minutes, which in addition to making everyone in the car barf themselves inside out, does it actually work?
It does.
Does it really?
It does, to a limited extent.
Tell them what it is.
So first of all, it wasn't my idea. I have to give credit to Kyle from Out of Spec. So, but what I did is here in Michigan, it gets cold, and I was driving my company Bolt EV, and that morning I had charged, and it was like super slow. So I thought, as I'm approaching this charger, partway through my trip, let me try this yo-yo. I'm in a safe road where I can do this. So the idea is you wanna like accelerate and use a lot of energy, and then you want to use the regen, because what that does is it is still slightly inefficient, and that inefficiency turns to heat, which warms up the battery. So what I found is right away I didn't get faster charging speed, but what I did get was as the charging session went on, the charging rate went up, and it did make a difference.
So it didn't fully precondition it, but it got it part of the way.
That's right.
So it was a faster ramp after that.
That's right.
A good thing I was wondering is, what are some of the challenges you may have found to EV adoption for Michigan? Because I don't know if you guys know this, but Michigan has a legacy of automobile manufacturing that doesn't necessarily include electric. You guys
Yes.
did know about that? Okay.
Yeah.
So there are challenges that we may not see in other parts of the country. Tell me about what those are like to try and overcome.
So one of the first things that we encountered is that because Michigan is not a zero emission state, in other words, zero emission mandate state, is we couldn't get all the cars that everybody else can get. I had been looking for a Kia Niro for a while, for example, and they just weren't available in the state. I went to my local dealer and like, yeah, we're not getting the plug-in vehicles. So that's one thing. Larry, what can you think of?
Well, I've been part of EV clubs since 2012 when the Chevy Volt came out, and just plugging in. And it's pretty much like talking to a brick wall, it seems like. It's been really frustrating, but there's a good group of us that are doing it, and so we have fun, kind of a club. But the actual adoption has been,
So
hard.
maybe one other thing is, for a while there, Tesla couldn't sell vehicles because of the direct sales model. So it was one of those states where you had to go outside of the state and import it. Now that's since no longer the case, but that was a big deal.
When did that change?
Oh gosh, I'm afraid I don't know.
I think it must have been
yeah.
quite recently, because a lot of people I've talked to did have to pick up in Cleveland or Chicago.
Toledo had to go across the border.
Yeah, they had to import it. They had to smuggle.
Yeah.
There are a lot of persistent myths I've seen around electric vehicles, but I've talked to a number of people on this trip who are not EV owners, who know absolutely nothing at all. A woman today asked me, Tesla, is it faster than a BMW? And how would you answer that?
Well, usually when people ask me, is the car fast? I say it's quick.
It is quick.
Right? So the difference being top speed versus the 0 to 60. Right? And that's really, EVs have that torque at 0 RPM, and they can just go, that 0 to 60 in no time flat.
In no time flat. How would you, if someone asked you, is it that car, is it faster than a BMW?
I would say yes, it is. Just the electric, it's a lot more efficient. The power's delivered right away. And there's some quick BMWs, right? The M3s and stuff like that, but
they're nowhere close to a cheaper Tesla.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I drive a lot. I'm just worried about how much the electricity is going to cost. How much is my bill going to go up?
Yeah, that's an easy one, actually.
Yeah.
So here in Michigan, the best way to do it is overnight charging. And if you get that kind of rate, so my other hat is I work for Consumers Energy in the EV Education Outreach. And so 14 cents per kilowatt hour with the all-in, with all the fees and everything like that. So what that turns into is about 5 cents per mile. So what I say is if you drive 1,000 miles a month, then your electricity bill is going to go up by $50 if you purely charge at home.
1,000 miles a month is around the national average, and that is a lot of gasoline. And I'll probably just put it up on the screen and maybe do a couple different cities worth of what it costs at those kinds of gas prices.
There's another easy way to do that math. 1,000 miles, 25 mpg is 40 gallons, and depending on the price of gas, let's say just for easy math, it's $4 a gallon. So 40 times 4 is $160. That's 16 cents a mile. So 5 cents a mile, 16 cents a mile. Now, if you drive a Prius and you get 50 mpg, it's a little bit different, but it's still, driving electric is that much cheaper.
Yeah, but that's still 8 cents a mile versus 5.
Right.
And it's still a better deal. So a lot of people on my channel know about the great apps, the great access you've got to charging information to all kinds of stuff in a Tesla. But in other cars, there are other apps that can tell you when your car is getting full, when it's charging, how much it's charging.
PlugShare.
Tell me about those real quick for people who may be outside of Teslaverse and don't know about them.
Yeah, PlugShare is a big one. That's the one you would pretty much use to find chargers everywhere, because it's not dependent on any particular network or system, things like that. Another really good one is a Better Route Planner, which is an app that you can use to say, I want to go from here to here, and you put in the vehicle type and it will calculate for you where it thinks that you should stop.
And it knows what kind of plug you have. It knows
based on the vehicle.
Based on the vehicle type. So that's a good one.
I've been surviving off of PlugShare. It's simple, it's neat. And
do you have a favorite vehicle that's electric that isn't a car? What's your favorite electric thing that moves that isn't a car?
So I'm biased because I also have a Zero SRS.
Okay.
So electric motorcycle.
Yep.
I love going on two wheels. And I just got back from a trip to Electrics at the Dragon, where a bunch of the electrics got together and we were riding Tail of Dragon. So if you ride a motorcycle, you know what Tail of the Dragon is. So that's my favorite.
I would go with the electric motorcycles. I like the Live Wire. We did an episode of Ben
Marshall.
He's got a good YouTube out on that.
Any other good, are there any electric vehicle applications that you don't think have caught up yet?
Oh, the boats.
Boats.
Is that what you're talking about?
Is it?
Yeah, so we're starting to see outboards. We actually had somebody on our show last week, and he did a whole conversion himself. Electric outboard, batteries, battery charging, and he just loves the, quiet, going out on the lake and just tooling around.
And that's a lot of fun. So you meet someone who doesn't know about EVs. And remember, guys, we're talking about EV evangelism here. We're trying to convert the masses. You meet someone who doesn't know about EVs, and they say, I don't know, I don't care. Give me the one benefit that you tell a new person who might not give a shit about these things.
I know for me, the thing that really got me when I plugged in the first car would be the Chevy Volt in 2012, is my Uncle Bob works at a power plant. And when I plug that in, my money's going to Uncle Bob. And I love that. So that was my main motive right there.
Well, I just don't care about electric cars. Why are they good?
Because they're smooth. So you don't have all that vibration when you go on a road trip. It's just absolutely smooth acceleration. There's no whining of the engine. There's no shifting of the transmission. It's just a pleasant ride.
That is a lot of fun. And if you guys have questions, I guess the question would be, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? You can leave it in them comments below. We've certainly missed something. If you're in a state that has difficulty adopting, maybe you could ask us what people are struggling with there. But, leave it in the comments. Of course, I have to say a big thanks to my patrons who get early access, bonus content and all that good stuff. You know the deal, And for the rest of you guys, stay tuned, stay juicy. I can't wait to hear from you clever robots next time.